I wish we became it together as all the women in the entire world. We help a woman and who's struggling everywhere, not in Afghanistan, everywhere, in every country. We fight for them.
Angelina Jolie is revisiting the iconic 2010 Time cover that featured Bibi Aisha. The Oscar winner interviewed the Afghani refugee for Time magazine, talking to her about how she overcame being horribly mutilated by her husband under Taliban rule. Aisha was 14 years old when she was forced to marry a Taliban fighter. After being abused for 5 years, she fled to a neighbor's house and eventually ended up in jail. But unfortunately, her father-in-law found her and sent her back to her husband.
They abused me every day and beating me. I was a slave. I don't have any rights to do anything. And then I decided to run away from them. And they tied my hand and they tied my feet as well. And they just cut my first ear and then another ear in my nose. And they said, like, okay, we don't care about you. Well, life or die, we want to left you here to die.
According to Time, Aisha asked for help from her family and neighbors, but was refused out of fear associated with the Taliban. But she didn't give up, telling Jolie in the print interview how she managed to push forward during that hard time. Quote, I walked. I went to my uncle's house and he didn't want to open the door to me, but something was powering me that night. I knocked on doors and told my story. I decided that I wanted to survive. I went to an American hospital and did my treatment for 2.5 months, and they treated me like a family member. They saved my life. But even after getting medical treatment, there was still a lot of uncertainty over what would happen to her next.
There's organizations in Kabul and a shelter. They sent me there. I was there for 9 months there. No hope, nothing. I don't know what happened to me. There, the people was planning to give me back to my father.
Oh.
Yeah. And then suddenly Time magazine came to me.
Now Aisha lives in Maryland and is studying to be a nurse so she can help others.
I done 31 surgeries. And that brought me to why I want to become a nurse. I want to help people, like they injured like me, some kind of situation the same, they through it. I want to help them, to go close to them, to listen to their voice, say, look, I through this situation, you guys can do it the same thing.
Jolie ended the interview by telling Aisha how grateful she is to her for sharing her story.
I think of that journey from that night and what they did to you and all the nights before, and you just pushing yourself forward. And I remember the first time I saw your face, and I could see just within your eyes this extraordinary human being. And meeting you now, I see that I only knew a little bit. You are so much more. You have so much more to give and say. So thank you for sharing your life with us.
Thank you so much. You give me opportunity to speak with you.